wonderful. Our special guest today is exciting, folks, because we share a lot of the same interests, which is so great. And her name is Shara. Currently works as an intuitive coach and energy healer. Shara's she combines like numerous modalities, such as I do. So in her practice is incredible because she, such as NLP, the ancestral DNA healing. I just love that part. I can't wait. Past life healing, Reiki, coaching, somatic hands-on healing, as well as her 25 years of work in the medical industry, which is absolutely incredible all in itself. Now, her focus is on helping people to break out of limiting beliefs and behaviors that stand in the way of them radiating their magic. Okay, their magic out into this world right now, which is where we manifest and bring all these wonderful things. So people who work with her feel an instant and immediate shift, literally to the point that after people complete her, she's got a 12-session beautiful coaching program, and they have such a vibrational shift that their life circumstances just automatically change. They lose weight, they become a magnet to the love and money and improved health and all kinds of wonderful things. But anyway, I just want to introduce right now Shara to my show here at Pure Energy Connections. I'm so happy you're
Oh,
here.
hello, I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, this is so exciting. I'm thrilled. The first time that we only connected just a while ago, and it was just a great connection because we
Yeah,
have a lot of the same interest.
yeah, right. Just by the
Yes.
way, we couldn't stop talking. I'm like, let's just
Yeah,
go speak strictly from our heart for this session and just see what comes up. Just see what
ex-
naturally wants to evolve for this call
ex-
today.
yeah, yeah. See where the energy brings us and the universe wants us to talk about. And well, let's hear a little bit more because I only told a little bit about you, but let's hear a little bit more about you.
Okay. Well, let's see. So right now I'm working as an intuitive. I combine both, I put on both my coaching hat and my psychic hat. Now, people often ask me, was I born a psychic, or, because people are often wondering, like, actually, right now, people are very lost and confused. We're in the midst of the coronavirus, so there's so much of the unknown. So people are even reaching and looking that way even more. But
Hmm.
as far as me, I came from more of a left-brained logical. I came from the medical background. My family was from the medical field. And so I never really believed in psychics and I never really believed in astrology and everything. That was something that wasn't in my paradigm growing up. And what happened is I had numerous shifts and experiences over the probably my 20s and 30s, and I did lots of interpersonal work. So I was super unhappy when I was younger. And then when I was early 30s, I still wasn't happy. And I basically entered into a clairvoyant program strictly so that I could get to know myself, grow my confidence, and believe in myself. And I always compared myself to other people and felt less than. And so as soon as I entered in, I basically just went straight. I paid for the whole 4-year program all the way through. It was actually 3.5. And I just went and
Wow.
I was pretty much there like 4 to 5 days a week for 3 years, just doing readings and work. I mean, I didn't start doing readings. I started with crying and like looking at my stuff and doing the deep inner work where the roots of these things came from, and then healing them and healing them and healing them. And a good healer has done a lot of work on herself. And this is basically my story, that after 3 years of me looking at my biggest wounds and my biggest traumas, then I looked at them and I didn't have that visceral reaction. I didn't have that contraction and that tension and heart racing. That was just gone. I literally healed my physiology from entering into any terrain right now. I could enter in and know that I'll still be stable. We will wobble as much and I'll still come out through the other side. I know. So this amazing thing happened that as I went in to work on all my things, my interpersonal things, I started to see so clearly and I started to do readings after readings. And then I basically manifested everything I wanted. Like, for instance, I wanted to have a partner because I had never really had a boyfriend before the age of 40. So, of course, all the people who are coming to me for readings and healings were women looking for love. It's a law of mirroring. What we're putting out, what we're looking for, where our attention is what comes back at us. And so basically, after I did a couple of hundred readings on women looking for love, then I healed basically all my stuff as well. Because when you heal another person, you also heal yourself. There's a process I do to go about it. And and then lo and behold, it was the weirdest thing that I saw. I was in a meditation one day and I was like, hey, what's my match about not finding love? And I literally saw this man come into my aura. It was like the shadow just entered into my aura and I got the chills and it was just really weird. And then, of course, shortly after that, I met a man who is now my husband. So it's just really interesting that, first of all, I saw how we have so much power in controlling what we actually bring towards us. And, things also happen when it's ready to, because so a lot of my clients are women looking for love. And they're always like, I think it's going to happen this year. I'm always like, okay. Not that I am an astrologer, not that I set a timeline or know that it's not going to happen this year, but I just look at where people's vibration is. And people
Hmm.
basically need to learn certain life lessons to get to the point where they're going to manifest whatever they need to, Lots of times
Hmm.
people get married or have a long-term relationship and they haven't worked through those things, but the partner is going to be a vibrational match. So that's why there's divorces are so common. Actually, it's because we haven't stepped into our fullest and truest self before meeting that person. If you've had several long-term relationships or even some divorces, there's nothing negative about that. That actually means that you've gotten to know yourself even better, because relationships are merely here to shine a light on who you are, to show you all your little intricacies of the places you hide and your truth of the inside. So that's the fastest way to grow, I believe, is through an intimate relationship.
It is. It is definitely. There's nothing wrong with divorce because you're absolutely right. We learn from being in these relationships
Yeah.
and then we grow and our vibration changes and then we move on to wherever we're supposed to go next,
You wouldn't
basically.
be the person who you are today if you didn't have
Hmm.
that divorce or that awful relationship with that man, and strengthen it. And I
Exactly.
don't even know you, but my insight is that you've had some hardships with men, but you've overcome it to a point where now you
Hmm.
have pure love. And when people
Hmm.
look at you, they don't see any like just what's that word I'm looking for? Just so many women are just bitter, just this
Yeah.
bitterness. And you have just come to a place where you've really opened your heart and you're like true love,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. I actually think, yeah, I was very heartbroken a couple times, very heartbroken. But then as I grew, and learned, and all of a sudden I was thanking them in my prayers and my meditations. I said, thank you for coming into my life. My gosh, I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for you and what you taught me,
Mhm.
basically, whether it
It's a,
hurt or not. Yeah,
it's a
very
big
important.
step on truly healing yourself, and
Hmm.
healing so that you can
Hmm.
move on to the next is to have gratitude and appreciation, no matter how awful of a person it was.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's how you mend, that's how you move forward, that's how you allow other good things to come into your life.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
and
there's a acceptance process basically that I take some clients through, and you could either sit in the mud pits and stew, which a lot of people do. Some bad
mhm,
circumstance happens to them, they lose all their money or whatever, physical pain or a breakup, and they really never move on.
mhm,
That's one
yeah,
way, but the other way is to accept the situation as what is now going on, and then to, like, let's just say if nothing else changes in your life for the rest of your life, whatever circumstances and situation you have right now, how do you want to be around it? Like, say you're poor or whatever, situation that you have in your life that you don't like. Let's just say it doesn't change. Do you want to be bitter about it? Do you want to be miserable about it? Or do you want to accept it and start to look at the light of it? So after that step, the next step is to say, I am whatever circumstance you're talking about, like the being broke or a breakup. You look at that and think of all the ways that you have how you've grown and learned and evolved. There's a particular process it's a step by step, like 4-step process that I actually take people through, which we don't need to get into the details, but the overall ending is you've grown and shaped yourself because of that. You're constantly evolving. You're constantly
mhm,
becoming more of you. And if everything was like rainbows and butterflies in your life, you wouldn't have developed the strength and the inner knowingness to
mhm.
work towards something. There's
Right,
something within you, for instance, that has you want to be like a super hard worker. Like you, I could tell you have the super hard work gene. You've had that your entire life. But you most likely
mhm.
had that because there was something you needed to prove, or that was like probably from your childhood. It was just like you had to take care of it because nobody else was going to.